We're going to check in with Shayne Wells.
Good morning. The Turnblad mansion in Minneapolis is a work of art in itself, but they also have one of the finest collections of the glass art outside of the Nordic region. We're talking about Swedish glass art. We are going to walk through. They brought out the collection, put it in their beautiful mansion, and we are going to talk to you about this new exhibit. Coming up after the break.
One of the world's finest collections of Swedish glass art can be found inside a Minneapolis mansion. Although it was once a house for a family, now it is the home base for the American Swedish Institute.
Shayne Wells is exploring its delicate collection this morning. Hey, Shayne.
Good morning. So we started in the Grand Hall in the Turnblad mansion because this, as you know, is a work of art in itself. Love getting in here and just eyeing all the details. So now they've added even more art throughout in the form of glass art, something I didn't really realize how big glass art was in Sweden particularly, and that they had this collection that wasn't out on display, and now some of it, not all of it, is kind of filling the halls and the different rooms of the mansion. You walk by that huge, beautiful green apple. Ingrid Nyholm-Lange with the American Swedish Institute walking us through this. Yeah, I did not know that this collection existed right here in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. You know, we started building our collection back in the 1950s, and then in the 1990s really ramped it up. And in that process of adding pieces, glass art pieces to our collection, we focused on a lot of women. There were a lot of women in a very male-dominated field of glass blowing in Sweden. And so some of the pieces we have out here really are the amazing women that have done so much, not only for producing pieces of Swedish glass art, but also inspiring the generations that come thereafter.
And this is a really good example of that. Show us kind of how this part works.
Absolutely. So we have 3 pieces here by Jo Andersson. These are the vessels that look very similar to the ones that we have already seen.
Yes, we were playing with the light in those earlier at the gallery.
Absolutely. The other pieces that are, you see much more of the straight lines to them, are by Ingeborg Lundin, a woman who was considered kind of the first female that really worked in that male-dominated sphere. So we encourage a lot of modern young artists to come and take a look at our collections, to really study them, to be inspired by them. And in this case, Jo was in particularly inspired by Ingeborg Lundin, and so took inspiration from her work and added it to her own work. So this is kind of her her creativity that's been inspired by people that have gone before her.
2 powerful women in the scene that come together and create a kind of new form of art.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is so cool to see. So if you come through the mansion, you walk through the rooms, you'll get to see a lot of historic pieces as well.
Absolutely. So we have, like we said, we have one of the largest Swedish glass art collections outside of the Nordic area, outside of the Nordic region. And so we have numerous pieces in our collection, and everything that we have on display are by women glass artists that have been really instrumental, if you will, in the second half of the 20th century in Swedish glass arts. Lots of color in their glass work. Some only work in clear, so there's a little bit of everything for everyone. We also are showing some more techniques.
Can we walk to this? I wanted to kind of end in this with the big kind of plate room, so we'll walk as we get there. Yeah, you can learn a lot about the glass artists. You can see, like you mentioned, the color, the clear glass as well. I hope I'm going the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is the one I wanted to look at. These ones caught my eye, so I feel like this is a really good ending point. If you guys want to come check this out, by the way, it's going to be on display here through May. Make sure and stop in the gallery, too, to see Jo Andersson's work. But take a look at those. We have the sun coming up this morning, and, of course, just the beauty of the mansion itself. Quite the combo here at the American Swedish Institute.
Wow. You can see all that light really helps appreciate the beautiful art form.
Very pretty.
Yes.
Thank you, Shayne.